Hey y'all, it's your girl Kanisha, Life with Kanisha. Thank you so much for just listening into this video here. Listen here. Like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this video. Talk to me in these comments, you guys, okay? Alright, let's get into it. Soft guy era. Now I know you guys, like y'all, I'm pretty sure we have been seeing this all over social media, right? Soft girl era, soft guy era. Like, come on, like what is going on? What? But anyway, let's get into it, girls. Let's get into it. And guys, if you're listening, let's get into it. So anyway, I caught myself like, watching a few videos on the soft guy era. Some of it was a bit, more on the serious side. And I found a few that was quite jokester like, but I think they were serious, but it came off as funny. But anyway, y'all, listen here. From the videos that I have watched so far pertaining to the soft guy era, I don't agree with everything, but I do agree with some things, right? And from the videos that I did watch pertaining to the soft guy era, is that these men, they are asking for a non-lazy woman. These men, they're asking for a woman who can cook, who can clean, who's able to work if she has to. And the thing is, like, with some of the videos that I watch, it's like it's not even the fact that like some of these guys are expecting the woman to do all the work while while they become like a house husband or house boyfriend or however. I have viewed it. Again, I didn't watch every single video, but the videos I have watched, I agree. And especially as a mother of a son, it's like there's nothing wrong with a grown man saying like, hey, I want a woman, I want a partner who can match the energy, who can match the standard, the qualifications that I have. Like these men, like they're demanding for women to come up a bit higher in their education, in their self-love, and definitely in their finances, and also in their physical appearance. And what I think is a major uproar is that when you start to talk about things like that, especially in the time that we are in, where it's being a city girl is more popular now, being out there, or that girl, or the ratchet one, or the one who quickly moves on and don't care, on to the next one type of mindset. It has been running rapidly. And see, when men start to voice this concern, it's because they are really concerned. They are, they are looking for wives. They're looking for help meet, and I would say with some of the sector of us as women, those who have not fully healed, or fully like process their childhood upbringing and their trauma, some of the things that these men are saying can come off as defensive or offensive or narcissistic, or what's a good word for, or, too effeminate for the woman. But it brings us back all, down to the very foundation. Very foundation. And the crazy thing about it is, I was listening to this talk like a few weeks ago, where the person who was doing this talk, they were saying that, some women, they pick up traits based on who their mother is. And the crazy thing about it is, and when after they said that, and then they said this, they were like, they pick up traits based on who their mother was, and then now on top of that, you have to find out what type of woman their mother was, because the thing is, our moms, as quiet as it's kept, our moms, us as women, as females, determine the type of women we will become. So that means, like, if your mom was out there in the streets, she's going to teach you, she's going to install into you to be out there in the streets. If your mom was okay with being a side, a side chick, if she was okay with living that type of lifestyle, then she's going to put that type of mentality into her daughter, into her children. And because children don't know, they'll automatically think that what was taught to them, that type of thinking, that type of processing there is healthy, it's right, when really it's not. And us as women, we cannot be, don't get me wrong here. Listen closely. We have to remember we're women, but also we are grown adults. Like, we can't expect and put a high demand on another grown adult to take care of our needs, especially if we can't take care of those needs ourselves. Like, we have to, I understand people, people in different cultures, they have their gender roles, but also you have to break it down to adult basic human living. You need to be able to know how to cook. You need to be able to know how to handle your finances. You need to be able to know how to do your own self-care, how to be clean behind yourself. Do y'all understand what I'm saying here? Please comment down below if you understand me, and definitely feel free to just add some extra topics and everything down there in that comment section, because it's like we're putting an unrealistic expectation on the other sex to make up the difference for things that we're not doing in our own lives, that we're not willing to do for ourselves. And I ended up making a post about this earlier, and in my post I said, especially for those who are single, like, if your bank account is low, like, if you don't have a savings and you're out here, dating should be the last thing that's on your mind. Like, you don't want to be broke out here dating. You don't want to be broke and broken. Do you understand me? And so, like, there's a time in our life, again, this is that human growth and development part, is you have to really figure out what you want in life without trying to make people feel upset or obligated for not, for refusing or not wanting to do what you should be doing on your own. And a lot of it, I tell you, like, this type of thinking in us women, a lot of it comes from our upbringing. Again, like, there's certain groups of women who teach their daughters, like, don't make the man angry, don't confront him on anything that he is doing to you, just let that man cheat in peace. Don't say nothing. Just cook, clean, do this, do that. Just everything will be okay. That's not the type of life you should desire to live. There are women, I tell you guys, there are women who have that mentality like that because it was taught to them. Now they're stuck in bondage. They're stuck in unfruitful relationships that is lacking romance, relationships that is lacking love, relationships that's lacking partnership and equality. I hope I'm still making sense to you guys here. So yeah, like, I can understand, like, for me, like, even for me as a woman, as an adult, I wouldn't want to be in partnership with someone who does not have a plan, who doesn't have a vision. Like, sir, if you don't know where you're going, I don't want to follow you. If you don't have a plan for your life, do not include me in the works. Have something that have a core vision, have something already in the works for you. Don't have me waiting on potential or the possibility that you may do something. And that's another thing that gets a lot of people lost, a lot of women lost, is the thing is, like, at the end of the day, when a man really loves you, when a guy say he really cares for you, when he really has he has an eye for you and he really believes that you're going to be in his future, he is going to go out there, get himself together, and come back and get you. He's going to come back and get you if he really meant what he said. So yeah, like, you guys, like, definitely check out those videos and definitely let me know, like, if you have any ideas or thoughts on this topic here. But I can't blame some of these guys. Like, for me as a mom, I wouldn't even teach my own son that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I would teach him, like, it's good to pay for a date. It's good to be there for your lady. But if she's not cooking, if she's not cleaning, if she doesn't know how to handle finances, keep herself together, or at least try, I don't blame you for not wanting to be in partnership. And some of the women are rejecting this because of what's currently going on right now. Because, like, right now you have all these new young rappers out here that's promoting whoredom. That's promoting only looking good, only smelling good, only plastic surgery. And also not really showing the reality of it is that this is all for propaganda. In the background, what they portray to us, society, is a whole nother persona. It's a whole nother person. And in the background, they understand finances. They're not handling all of those colorful wigs and tattoos. They're not being out there reckless and ratchet like that. Those are personas. And we tune into these things to be like, oh yeah, like, she's talking good, like, I want to be like her, she's so inspiration, like, yeah, she don't care about no dude, da 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 da. But you have to really look at things black and white. And even when it comes to the religious part of it, like, in me, even myself experiencing this, and it's heavily taught in certain religions where, that women should be codependent on the man. And let me tell you, there is somebody for everybody. There is somebody for everybody, but you do not have to be codependent on them for your basic life. Like, for things that you should already know how to do. Actually, I ended up watching this story and listening to the story of this one lady, how she was in the Mormon religion, and how basically, the women had to get the man is the breadwinner. But in her case, she was the brains, and she knew how to make money come into the household. And because of the type of religion that she was in, her family, they made her sign over her business and everything pertaining to the business over to her husband. And what her husband did, all the money and all the revenue that was getting accumulated from the business, he was stashing it. He was keeping it away. He only gave her a budget, a small budget, enough to keep the house up. And when that man, he got enough money, he felt like he was good enough without her. He left her with those kids. So not only does she not have any type of skill savings, she's stuck with children. She's stuck in a predicament where, she's left homeless. And this guy that she married basically ran off with over $500,000, living a luxurious life with another woman. And now she's struggling. She doesn't know what to do. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you haven't heard this before, you have to be careful on who you allow to teach you and to talk to you about things. Because let me tell you something. Wisdom is the principal thing. I don't care how people try to sugarcoat it or whatever. It does not matter. Whether you are in a relationship or not, you should always be able to save some type of money. It shouldn't make any sense. And it's crazy. This is so crazy. Like, society and people's mindsets can be so backwards sometimes, because it's like, when you are in your single season, when you are single, you don't have a partner, you don't have a boyfriend or nothing like that, people encourage you to start working, to work hard and to save money and to build this and build that, to have these multiple accounts. But when you get into a marriage, when you get into a covenant, it's like, oh no, you can't have a savings anymore. You can't have money stashed up anymore for rainy days. That's against their opinionated law or against their religion, or you're not being honest enough. You're not being truthful enough. You're not being trustful enough. But when you really sit down and you really go out here and research, and you actually see that there are people, even though they listen to the quote unquote wisdom that others have gave them, and it end up leaving them more screwed over than never before. Let me tell you something. You should not, as a grown adult, regardless if you are married or in your singleness or not, it's always good to have savings. It's always good to have something going for yourself. That's basic human adulting skills. You should always have something going for yourself, because you never know what the future may hold. You can still be committed. You can still be faithful. You can still be loving, while at the same time as understanding that the future you have no map to. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we have to get out of this codependent type of mentality. Even myself as a woman, as an adult, I shouldn't put more pressure on a man to do something for me that I'm not able to do for myself. Like, if you like lashes, if you like to look good and smell good and go here and go there, then you must carve that doorway for yourself. Because relationships are not promised. Even though we make promises to people, and people make promises to us, you always have to be prepared. Not prepared to exit, but to prepare to fly. Just in case life throws a monkey wrench at you. Just in case you get bamboozled. You never know. But there's nothing wrong with saving. There's nothing wrong with having money. There's nothing wrong with that. Not at all. So yeah, like, for some of these guys here, when it comes to that soft guy era, I can understand that. Just like us as women, when we want guys to be put together, to have things going on for themselves, this is what they are asking for. They're asking for the same in return. They're asking for the same in return. Because truthfully, if the shoe was on the other foot, how would you feel? You get what I'm saying? Like, now you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of another grown adult. You have to take care of the family that you made. That in itself is a lot of pressure. As a matter of fact, I had a good conversation with one of my coworkers, and he's a guy, and he's married. He works 2 jobs and goes to school. And he was just straight up honest with me. He was like, there are some times where I don't even want to be here no more, because things are so hard. And inside my head, I'm like, wow. Like, when it comes to this topic, we really have to ask ourselves, are we being users or not? Are we being users? Are we being lazy? Are we not being considerate? considerate that this other person, this individual, they're human too. They have feelings too, just like we do. But again, for those, single, married, definitely sit back and think about those things. Especially for my single ladies out there. Really sit back and think about those things. When, in this life, you got to be able to, push yourself to that vision. Work hard towards the things that you want. Things just doesn't fall out the sky all the time for you. It doesn't fall out the sky for us. We have to go take that opportunity. We have to, make those sacrifices to get where we need to be. And I know there's another sector of talk that's going on that I just remembered, where, some women are telling other women to make sure to decenter men. To not have a relationship or a man the forefront of your focus. There is more for you to do. There is more for you to think on. Yeah. But, that's all I have for right now pertaining to Soft Guy Era. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this channel. Thank you guys so much for listening in. I love you. Till next time.